Hey guys, so welcome back to my channel. So if you are new here, I want to say you're welcome. And if you're an old subscriber, I want to say you're welcome as well. So in today's video, we'll be learning how to sew this neckline with collar. If this is what you love to learn, watch this video to the end and also turn on your notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. So let's go into the video. The first thing to do is to get your pattern paper. So I'll be using pattern paper, my tip rule and my marker for the drafting of the pattern. So I've gone ahead to get my bust line, my under bust, then my half length. So my half length is 17 inches, under bust 13 inches, then my bust line is 8.5. So after joining the lines together like this, the next thing is to go ahead and measure your bust line. Guys, I need to fold the pattern paper into two because of the neckline. They'll be need to open it up to get the neckline. So I've gone ahead to divide my bust into four rather. I divide by 4, then I added 2 inches to it as the sewing allowance. I've also divided my under bust by 4, added 2 inches to it. My half length divided by 4. The circumference of my half length divided by 4, and I added 2 inches to it as my sewing allowance. So guys, I need to add 2 inches to that half length because I'm cutting out a bustier, so I will need to add extra length. I will explain better when I get to that point. The 2 inches I'm going to remove from that under bust, that's what I'm adding back to it. Do you understand? I will explain better as we proceed in the video. So that's my back divided by 4. Then I slanted the shoulder by 1 inch. So guys, a call came in and interrupted the videos. I'm so sorry about that. So what I did to the neckline was that I measured um 3.5 inches at the neckline. So by the time I opened it, it gave me 7 inches. 3.5 gives me 7 inches. So for the straight part, I measured 6.25. I use 6.25. So after then you curve it from that 3.5 that you have from the half from the middle point. Okay, you join it from that 3 inches to that straight part of the neckline. Do you understand now? To get that neckline. So for the bustier, I've measured 4 inches. My nipple to nipple is 8 inches, so I divide by 2, it gives me 4 inches. So I measured 4 inches from the mid center. So for the shoulder, from the armhole rather, I measured 4 inches, then another 5. From the 4, I measured 1, making it 4 from the shoulder, then 5 from the shoulder for each. So I'll join the lines together as you see me do. You join the lines together. So the next thing to do is to measure 1.5 inch at the under bust line. I want to remove 1.5 from the under bust to give it that shape that I want. So I'll go from that under bust, I'll go up by 2.5. Then I will join the lines together as you see me do it. So you join the lines together. After joining the lines together, those you will now cut the pattern paper out. Watch the way I'm cutting it. I ought to add 1.5 inch to this armhole, but I forgot. But I'm going to join paper to it now and cut it out so that by the time I'm sewing it, one part of this princess cut will not be longer than the other. Do you understand? So at the armhole here, I'll go out by 1.5 and extend it like so. So by the time I'm joining that part to the other side, it will not be longer than each other. So I'll cut it out now. So guys, this is the back pattern. So I'm gonna need to get my shoulder line, my bust point, my under bust, then the half length. The half length is 17 inches. So after doing that, getting that, I will join the lines together like so. Then I'll take my measurement on those lines. The bust line divided by 4 plus 2. Under bust circumference divided by 4 plus 2. Then half length circumference divided by 4 plus 2. So that's the shoulder line, my shoulder divided by 2. Then on this bust line, I went in by 2 inches using the back of the tape rule, the centimeter part. So the next thing to do is to get my neckline. Neckline is 3.5. Remember, I used 3.5 for the front neckline. So for this back, I'll go up by 2 inches. Sorry, 1.5 inches. After then, I will slant the shoulder by 1.5. So I will measure that 3 inches as my 3.5 inches as my neck depth, my neck width rather. So the neck depth is 1.5. So guys, remember I've not added any zip allowance to this. So by the time I'm done cutting this pattern paper, I will remember to add zip allowance to it while transferring this pattern paper to the fabric. Okay, when you are transferring the pattern paper to the fabric, you add your zipper allowance to it. So at this on half length, I came by 1.5 at the back. There is reason why we do remove 1.5 or 2 inches. The reason is to avoid unnecessary folding of the zipper at the back. You know, there are sometimes when you wear your dress, the back part will be folding. To avoid that unnecessary folding, you remove either 1.5 or 2 inches from that half length to give you a perfect fit. So I'm transferring the pattern to the fabric now. I'll add an half inch to each part of the pattern paper. For sewing, I'll add half inch to it. So for the zipper allowance, I'm adding 2 inches to it. So I've added 2 inches to the back of the pattern paper for the zip allowance. So guys, the next thing to do is to cut out your lining. So you cut your lining, then you join the front lining. You join the fabric, then you join the lining separate. So the next thing I will do now is to notch the sewing, this joining of the sewing. So I will go ahead and notch. Then after notching, I'll go to the ironing table and iron that part that I sew out. I will go to the ironing table and use my tailor's aim to iron that bust area. So I've already gone to turn the back too with the lining. So you join like this and leave the shoulder, because you're going to join the shoulder to the front separate. So move to the ironing table to give it a good press. So I've done ironing the bust point. So the next thing to do now is to join the shoulder, the front shoulder to the back shoulder. So you place the front fabric like so, then you go ahead to join the Ankara fabric to Ankara fabric, then the lining to the lining. So you do the same thing to the other side, other back piece. Okay, so guys, I've gone ahead to join the shoulder, so I will measure the front piece. That straight part gives me 9.5, and this under, and this other side of the line of the neckline gives me 13 inches. So I'll go ahead now and cut the collar I'm going to attach to the neckline. So I'm using a pattern paper to cut out the neck collar first before transferring it to my fabric. So for the first one, I measured 13 inches. Remember, 13 inches was the other neckline. So at this other end, I measured 3.5, and at the tip here, I measured 4.5. So from that 13 inches, I extended it to 14. See me, I measured 13, then I'll measure 14 at this upper end. You see me, I measured 14.5, not even 14. I measured 14 inches, then I join it. From that 14.5, I join it to that 13 inches. Do you understand? So this is the straight part of the neckline. I did the same thing. I measured 4.5 at the tip, then the one that will be at the back, I measured 3.5 as I did to the first neckline. So I joined the lines together. Then, initially it is 9.5. So I will extend it by 1.5 and join it together. One will be extended by 1.5. Then I join the lines together and cut. Hope you understand. So by the time I join this to the neck, that's the shape it's going to give me. So I'll go ahead and transfer the collar to the fabric I'm using. So this is net lace. I will use my Ankara fabric to line the net lace for the neck collar. So remember to add your sewing allowance to the pattern paper while transferring pattern paper. So this is the Ankara fabric I'm going to use to line the lace. I'll use this Ankara fabric to line the lace. So the next thing is to go and add your your paper stick to the Ankara fabric, then sew it. After that, I ironed it. So the next thing to do is to fix the collar to the front part of the dress. Watch the way I'm doing it. I first use my office pin to pin the collar to the fabric, to the Ankara fabric. I did not hold the lining to it. So by the time I'm done using this office pin to pin round the neck, I will go ahead and sew from the inside. So the collar sewing will not be showing. I don't know if you understand. You only join the collar to the Ankara, then you sew from the inside. By the time you are sewing from the inside, you will have to sew your lining and the Ankara together. Just watch the way I'm doing it for better understanding. So I did not allow the collar to extend to where my zipper is going to start from. I left the zipper allowance so that by the time I join the so guys, the collar did not get to the zipper allowance, so I left it so that by the time I'm done joining the zip, it will not interrupt the collar. By the time I join the collar and the zip, it will not interrupt each other. Do you understand? So I'll go ahead now and give it a good press. So guys, this is the finished look after ironing. So what I'll go and do now is to join this half length to the down part. See the finished look of the so guys, this is the finished look of the neckline. Hope you find this video helpful. If you do not forget to subscribe, like this video and also share with others. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.